Okay, so now we're live in all the platforms that I always promise I will be. And yeah, so before, like, if anybody has any questions, just keep sending them. And yeah, we'll go from there. So this week I got a not too much of a question, but it's something that a lot of people ask me, and a lot of people have some difficulty with. Um, you can, like, these days, like with the globalization, with everything. I mean, you can apply for it like anywhere in the world. It's not as if you can only be restricted to one country. So it's important to know that there are differences in the CVs that you send to the different countries, but they are quite subtle. Let's put it like that. They are not massive differences. An attractive CV, it's pretty much, let's say, an attractive CV in the US, pretty much attractive in France, in Brazil, in Germany, and in other places of the world. Of course, you have a like some criterias. Like in Germany, you use pictures. It's almost mandatory here to send pictures, to put pictures on your CV, which in some places like Brazil is not that common. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, in the US, it depends on the area you are applying for, but it's also not as common as it is in Germany. When it comes to CVs, let's say in creative areas, it's an interesting area. It's very exciting because you can go all out on your CV. You can put some colors, of course, within a certain limit, but you can put some colors. You can be creative with the sections of your CV. And of course, there needs to be some logic. What I always say about CVs is that it needs to tell a story. It really needs to have a sequencing that makes sense, that entices the person that is reading it, that's looking at it. Um, but coming back to the question of the applying in different places, the only thing you need to do is to do a really quick Google research on what is important on a CV in a certain country, or even a certain region. I know, because I know different parts of certain countries ask for different things. But mainly, if you do a Google search about that country, you're gonna have all the criteria you need. Second thing, don't when you do your research on Google, don't believe in everything that it's in there. Look for professionals, look for people that have material about CVs already, about job search, and take that in consideration before you follow every advice you find on the internet. There's a lot of stuff out there that it's interesting, and it looks good, but maybe not for the region that you are applying for. So make sure that you're very very careful with these things. um, if you're not so sure, if you didn't start writing your CV yet, if you're just like you have no clue on how to start, or something like that, and you have the possibility to have a coach or to hire someone to do it, not to do it for you, but to help you do it, I would certainly advise you doing that. There's one misconception when you get someone to help you with your CV. When you hire someone, they don't write your CV for you. That doesn't exist. If someone tells you, I'm going to write your CV for you, they will. It will look like your CV, but it's not actually your CV. It's only like a prop or a draft of a CV that you didn't build yourself. So when you get an interview, when you go into an interview with that type of CV, you're not going to be able to tell the story that the CV is portraying. So it is very very important that you write your CV, that you make sure that if you have help from someone else, you take charge of writing the CV. You're only being oriented or mentored or coached by someone that has a little bit more experience in writing CVs and know a bit more of the market on that. So I would totally yeah, incentivize you to try to write your own CV. Don't hire anybody first. Try to write your own CV. If you're not satisfied, if you're not getting enough interviews, just then you're going to have an idea if you need someone to help you with your CV or not. Don't go spending money on hiring someone to write your CV before you try it yourself, because at the end of the day you need to know your CV very, very well, to be able to succeed in an interview. So if you write your CV, of course, you are much more prepared than if you ask someone else to write it for you. So absolutely go write your CV. If you have some difficulties, you can contact someone to help you with that. Um, with the colors, with the format, nobody likes a boring CV. Like I was saying at the beginning, nobody likes a boring CV. A boring CV, when I say a boring CV, is a CV that is black and white. It has information, like the information is just not there, and well, not there. That's not what I meant. Like, it's not that information is not there. The information is there, but it's very condensed and it's very complicated to read. So that becomes a bit boring, a bit heavy. So just make sure that it's well organized. It's in a sequence that makes sense, that entices the reader, and look it up where you're applying to have the right. Thanks. And you have the right things on your CV. Cheers.